Hello everyone, welcome to Kamaudacity. Today I want to talk about something that's really sad and it's something that we can learn lessons from, especially as women. I'm speaking to everyone, but particularly I'm speaking to women, sisters. So an incident took place about 2 days ago, and this incident was streamed live on Facebook. Now, the thing with social media nowadays, with everybody, everybody and his brother, everybody and his cousin, everybody and his sibling has access to social media, and we have access to doing live videos, blow by blow commentary as we speak. And some of us don't realize how powerful this is. Some of us don't realize the implications of this, how irreversible this is. Once it is streamed live, it is almost impossible to erase, no matter how you do, no matter how much mopping up and damage control you try to do, it is almost impossible to retrieve it once you stream it live. As a matter of fact, once it goes on social media, whether live or not, but especially if it is live, because there's so much that you don't have control over when you're in a situation with other people, and when it becomes boisterous, when it becomes violent, it can go any which way, and you really don't have control over people's actions. You don't have control over what people are going to say, and so you really need to be careful. Now, I'm speaking of the incident that took place between a Mississippi woman, Kadejah Brown, and her husband, Jeremy Brown, both 28 years old, parents of 4 children, according to the reports that I saw. Right, so clearly, I don't know these individuals, but it was streamed, and I saw the stream. It was streamed on Facebook Live about 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. Millions of people were witness to it. Now, Kadejah and Jeremy, husband and wife, they had been at odds over some issues from the night before. They're allegedly said to have been arguing from the night before. And they parted company early on, and then Kadejah returned to the apartment. She started filming. She was clearly disgruntled. As she filmed, she was clearly disgruntled. She was making accusations of her husband, not being there for the kids, not being as present in the home, not contributing as much as she would have wanted. So she was expressing this, right? Now, it appears to me, from what I saw on the video, that her mom was also present, and it also appears to me that there was some issue between the mom and the husband. Based on comments that the mom was making, it's as if the husband was saying she was meddling in their affairs, but she was there apparently preparing something for the kids to eat. So the kids, at least one child was heard. At one point in the video, at least one child was heard. So after a while, we know with the bickering, and Jeremy was trying to leave based on what I could discern from what he was saying and what was happening in the video. Because some parts of the video, you can see the back and forth and hear the conversation. He was telling Kadejah, I want to go, please allow me to go. Right? She was resisting based on what was heard. She was resisting, he wanted to go. At one point, you couldn't see anything further, it was just audio. So apparently she either tossed the phone down or the phone fell as a result of the altercation. But you could hear what was happening. You couldn't see them any longer. But at one point, a shot was heard. One single shot was heard. And then mayhem, total screaming. Eventually, the police arrived, and Kadejah has been charged with the slaying of her husband. One shot. With that one shot, all their lives totally derailed. In that one moment of indiscretion, because I could hear someone screaming, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't want to do this. And at one point, based on what I could hear, she was also saying, Jeremy, wake up, wake up. Or telling her mom, the grandma, wake him up. That's what I heard, right? I listened to the footage twice. And that's what I remember hearing. She was totally in shock, screaming, I didn't mean it, Jeremy. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean it. Wake up, wake him up. And then the saddest part of it all, you could hear at least one child, possibly several children, screaming. And then you could hear someone say, your dad is no longer here. Your dad is no longer here. No, 4 kids. This couple has had a history of domestic disputes. They have had a history of the police having to come to their apartment to quash domestic disputes between the two of them. You know, when these kind of things happen, you'll see videos circulating, all of a sudden a barrage of videos of the persons involved, you know, from their social media accounts. All of a sudden people start sharing the videos. And so I saw several videos on my feed, you know, with them just being a couple, dancing, just talk in the car, driving. And I saw this one video of they were in the car and you could see the kids around the back. And they were just having a regular family time. The kids were just being goofy and chatting and playing. Oh yes, and I saw another video of the kids. It was Christmas. And they woke the kids up and they were calling the kids and they went down to open their presents. Just regular family time. It appears to me that Yes, they had their disputes, but at least in some moments they were just a regular black family. A regular black family with mom and dad and the kids. Right? Opening Christmas presents, driving in the car, chatting as they go, being goofy, um, dancing together, just doing regular family stuff, at least some of the time, right? But Kadejah started the live stream complaining that Jeremy wasn't being there for the kids. He wasn't meeting her halfway. And now I'm saying, okay, that's a legitimate complaint. If you're married, husband isn't pulling his weight as far as you're concerned, not giving the kids as much time as far as you're concerned, that is a legitimate reason for you to not feel good about that, right? It's a legitimate reason for us to have a conversation. It's a legitimate complaint. However, when you look at it now, where is Jeremy now? Can he give his kids time now? Can he spend time with his kids now? Where is Kadejah now? Can she give her kids time? Kadejah has been arrested and charged. There is so much evidence. This was streamed. Millions of persons witnessed at least some aspects of this. Some parts were video, the rest audio. She will have her day in court. She will have the chance to make a defense. However, she's now in custody. So I'm saying, you're complaining that isn't spending time with kids. You launch a situation that escalates to the point where now that is going to be 6 feet underground, in no way accessible to the kids. You might very well be behind bars, in no way accessible to the kids. How is that a solution to the original problem? How is that a solution to the original problem? You can't solve a problem with a bigger problem. Right? As women, we have to be, well, everybody has to be careful, but listen, as women, we have to be very careful. We sometimes, you see, people make remarks that women are not in control of our emotions. You know, we're too emotional, we get carried away, and sometimes situations like these prove these comments to be true. Because how can you be saying you're looking out for your kids, you're taking a stance because their dad isn't giving them enough time, you want them to get enough time, and you launch a situation that escalates as a result of your action because he clearly was trying to de-escalate the situation. Jeremy can be heard several times telling her, just allow me to leave. I don't want to be in a confrontation. I want to go to work. Just get out of my face, allow me to leave. And Kadejah, from what I heard, was not allowing that. She wanted the confrontation. She wanted the confrontation. Sometimes as women, we push the confrontation because we feel that we are seen as the weaker vessel, and so the man will not retaliate, or he will not retaliate with the full force, eager to meet us half and half with that force. So we're going to get away with riling up. Sometimes it doesn't work in our favor, and sometimes the men do retaliate. And some of us find ourselves 6 feet under. And some of us find ourselves in situation where, whether by accident or by intent, the other person ends up 6 feet under. Who wins? I'm just picturing the faces of these 4 black kids. These 4 black kids, they had a home, they had a mom, they had a dad. A home with problems, a home that sometimes got noisy, but they had a home with mom and dad. Women, if you find yourself at a point where it's not working out, leave. It's better you leave and put some things in place, make some arrangements that the kids at least sometimes see their dad. If he doesn't want to be in their life, which he didn't, I don't get the impression that this is the case with Jeremy. I don't get that impression. I don't know these people. I'm just making assumptions from what I could discern. I didn't get that impression that he's the type of man who didn't want anything to do with his kids. So if it's a case where the 2 of you as adults can no longer see eye to eye and it's not happening, leave, make arrangements for the man to see his kids at least sometimes. So they still have mom and dad, maybe not under the same roof, not ideal. We all want mom and dad to be with us under the same roof, yeah. But sometimes things happen in life where people grow apart. I saw a couple of videos that where persons were saying earlier Kadejah had accused Jeremy of having another lover, a male lover. I didn't see that video, but I heard other persons saying that. So this is all hearsay. I don't know these people. This is what I heard. But if that was the case, if she suspected him of being on the down low, just leave. If she had enough proof to convince herself that this was the case, and she saw where this wasn't something that she wanted to live with, leave. Why be confrontational? Just leave. Because what has happened now? She's in custody. According to the police report, she was taken into custody without incident. I'm taking that to mean she did not resist. You see, when I look at her mugshot, when I look at her mugshot, I see someone who is totally out of it, somebody who is totally confused. It's like Kadejah in this moment does not know how she got here. She doesn't understand. How did we get here? How did we get to this place? That's the look I'm seeing on her face. How did we get to this place where I'm being handcuffed? I'm being put in a police vehicle. My kids are screaming. My mom is sobbing. My husband is on the floor, lifeless. How did we get here? She is totally out of it. She totally lost control of the situation. She doesn't know how she is right here. Women, we cannot allow ourselves to get to the point where we lose control of everything and we have this look on our faces where we're saying, How did this happen? How the hell did I get here? Why am I being handcuffed? What did I do? How can you put a hole in someone and then asking somebody to wake them up? You just put a hole in that person. You want him to wake up. You didn't mean it. We have to really be careful, especially of confrontation. When you launch a confrontation, it can escalate just like that. It can escalate within seconds. You can lose control very quickly. And so you have to put yourself in a position where at all times you have the reins, or at least some of the reins. And one of the biggest reins you have is to take yourself away from the situation. And if the other person is trying to take themselves away from the situation, let them go. Based on the reports I saw in the media, the police are describing this as tragic and senseless, and it absolutely is tragic and senseless. Now, I'm assuming grandma will now have to take on the responsibility of raising these 4 kids, or at least someone else now has to take on the responsibility of raising these 4 kids. In the video, you already heard grandma saying, I'm trying to help out. I'm trying to help you guys, doing the best I can, but I have my life. I have myself to deal with too. It's not fair for grandma, having raised her kids, to now have to step in and raise somebody else's kids. I've always maintained that is not fair to our elders. But that's where she is now. She has to go step up now, or somebody else. And this opens these kids now to all manner of possibilities, some of which are not very positive. It opens them up now to all manner of possibilities. These are beautiful, vibrant kids, chatting and laughing and bonding with each other, and now screaming, totally uprooted, totally disoriented. Moms, we have to try to do better. Sisters, women, we're not crazy. We can maintain composure. We can be level-headed. Come on, we can be level-headed. Be level-headed for your kids. Be level-headed for your own safety. Walk away. Allow persons to walk away. Move on with your life. Life goes on. You can climb out of it. You can rise above it. Life goes on. Allow life to go on. Don't be there in the mugshot, totally disoriented, totally confused. How did I get here? What did I do? What did I do? Don't be putting holes into people and wanting them to wake up. Come on, sisters, let us try to do better. Okay? Let's try to do better.